Are you absolutely sure about your memories? Those details you take as fact, as unchangeable? Imagine for a moment that you discover something you remember with total clarity, something you share with millions of people, never actually happened. That reality, as you know it, has a crack. You are not alone. Somewhere in your mind, a line from a famous movie echoes, "Luke, I am your father." You remember the Monopoly man wearing a monocle. You are convinced that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s. But what if I told you all of that is false? That Darth Vader never said that exact phrase, that the Monopoly man never wore a monocle, and that Nelson Mandela died in 2013 after serving as president of South Africa. Welcome to a mystery of the collective mind. Today we explore one of the internet's most fascinating oddities, the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect is a strange phenomenon in which a large group of people remembers something differently from how it happened in reality. It's not a simple individual error, but a massive memory, shared by people from all over the world, that clashes directly with factual evidence. The term was coined by a paranormal researcher named Fiona Broom. She explained that, like many others, she vividly remembered news reports of Nelson Mandela's death in prison in the 1980s, even details of his funeral. The surprise came when she discovered that Mandela had not died then, but was released and became president. When she shared her experience online, she found thousands of people had the exact same false memory. Why the Mandela Effect? Because this case was the one that started it all. It was the example that made it visible that our memories, even the ones we believe are most solid, can be incredibly fragile and, most surprisingly, can fail en masse. To show you we're not talking about obscure things, but details from pop culture that many of us have etched into our minds. Get ready to question your memory. What did the fruit of the Loom logo look like? If you remember a cornucopia, that horn of plenty full of fruits behind the apple and the grapes, I have news for you. It never existed. Look at any old or new product. There are only fruits. But thousands swear they saw that cornucopia. And the famous mirror on the wall from Snow White. The actual line in the Disney movie is "Magic mirror on the wall," not "Mirror, mirror." Bet you said it the first way, the Star Wars classic. We all imitate Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father." But if you watch the original scene, the exact line is, "No, I am your father." It doesn't mention Luke at the beginning. It's a small change, but monumental in our collective memory. And one more. How do you spell the name of the lucky teddy bears? Is it Berenstain or Berenstain? The vast majority remember Berenstain, pronounced Berenstain. But the truth is, it has always been spelled Berenstain, Berenstain. The authors were named Stan and Jan Berenstain. There are old books and toys that prove it, but people insist on remembering the E. It's unsettling, isn't it? You feel like your mind is playing a trick on you. It's tempting to think of extravagant theories, colliding parallel universes, glitches in the matrix. It's a lot of fun. But psychology and neuroscience have much more down-to-earth explanations, and they are no less fascinating. The main culprit is our reconstructive memory. Our brain is not a hard drive that records and plays back events with perfect fidelity. In reality, we store key fragments, and every time we remember, we reconstruct the scene. And in that reconstruction, we fill in the gaps with assumptions, previous experiences, and even misinformation we receive later. We aren't lying. Our brain simply completes the puzzle with the piece it thinks fits best, even if it's not the correct one. Then there's social influence and misinformation. A clear example: if thousands of people online start saying, "Remember how the Monopoly man had a monocle?" Our brain can incorporate that idea and fit it into our memory, convincing us we always knew it. It's like a massive rumor that installs itself in our memory. There is also confabulation. Our brain seeks coherence. If we know Darth Vader is Luke's father, our memory might simplify the phrase to make it more direct and dramatic. Luke, I am your father. It sounds better, it's more iconic, and that's why our brain edits it and chooses to remember it that way. And of course, cognitive biases. The confirmation bias makes us seek out information that confirms what we already believe. If you're convinced the logo had a cornucopia, you'll look for examples that prove it and dismiss those that disprove it. In short, it's not that we're jumping between dimensions. It's that our brains are wonderful, but imperfect, machines that are constantly interpreting and rewriting our own history to make sense of it. The Mandela Effect is not proof of alternate realities, but a fascinating reminder of our shared humanity. It shows us how social even our most intimate memories are, and how our perception of reality is malleable, a fragile and collective construct. It teaches us to be a little more humble with our certainties. The next time you argue about a fact or a memory with a friend, remember this phenomenon. Maybe you're both wrong, or maybe your brains have reconstructed the story in different ways. It's not something that should scare us, but rather invite us to marvel at the workings of our own minds, to always question, to seek evidence, and to keep curiosity alive. If this journey through the labyrinth of memory has been as intriguing for you as it was for me, if you've yelled at the screen, "But I remember it like that," then do me a big favor. Give this video a like. It tells YouTube's algorithm the content is interesting and helps more curious people like us find it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because here we will continue exploring the most fascinating mysteries of science, psychology, and culture. And most importantly, leave me a comment. Tell me, which Mandela Effect example surprised you the most? Do you have any other mass memory that doesn't match reality? And suggest topics you'd like us to cover in the future. Your participation is essential for this community. See you in the next video. Goodbye.